Hi, hello, dear friends, dear brothers, dear loved ones. My name is Ron, Mage Ron, or Dr. Megahertz, as you wish. Here we are to learn Jediism, Sith has, and magic versus each one and the last at the end we will understand that all these are the same. It only depends on how you focus and understand and have knowledge and know-how. But our purpose is clear. Jedaists versus Sithists versus magicians. Religion and technology of the gods. A long time ago. Long time in space. Ions and ions ago, visitors arrived on Earth. Over 200,000 years ago, on this planet, visitors from other stellar sphere came with their ships. Of course, the first one as a scout landed on a beautiful planet with resources as they seek all over the system and other systems too. But they found what they want. In particular, certain materials, minerals, but gold was the most valuable of all. Just ask yourself, why just a yellow piece of metal has its value and has created power, and everything was developed under the value of gold. Was the most valuable for them? Yes. Gold was the most valuable metal for them. The acid they required. That has that much value. And that is not the most important issue. The important thing is the value of infrastructure the visitors invested over thousands of years on this planet. Far from theirs. They're now popular in common knowledge, almost, as we can speak freely about visitors from other parts of the universe in space. And they brought the good and the bad, perversity and agreeing, war and peace. They created our first civilization. They lived here. They manipulated us, manipulated humanity under their will. We became their slaves. The only being on this earth that enslaves other like himself is the human being. Ask yourself, what kind of behavior is this? Why? Where does it come from? But existed and exists in different ways, even now as we speak. The human being where does this way of doing things came from? From them. No other reasonable explanation. No other reasonable explanation. History without these visitors changes a lot. And it almost becomes a lie. Such as it is. Antiquity. History without the visitors does not meet reason to explain many different sites and suddenly the flourishment of a highly developed civilization. Sumerians. Sumer. Creating, destroying, just converted themselves into gods, demigods, which brought pain, but also brought other good things. But in 5,000, 6,000 years of history, it's impossible that human beings have acquired the technology as we speak we're developing in this planet. But, of course, we're under attack. Who is doing this pandemic? A highly developed virus which nobody knows anything about it in reality. It only provokes misunderstanding between us. And there is a purpose, a hidden purpose. But this is not our main subject of today. Our main subject in this video, we start our own journey into the past, into the present and our futures. Our journey begins with higher knowledge of our species and this planet, which is our home. And of course, the information that we require to understand and to know about the past, the present, the future. It's recording itself every instant, every single thing, every possible and probable way of thinking, and in our thoughts, our feelings, project the history. As first, we must understand our purpose as human beings, as individuals. Nowadays, in order to survive this attack from evil, where does it come from? Why is it coming and targeting us? Or targeting certain type of people? Some particular types, and why we're not finding solution for it. But this video is dedicated to those who are forward looking. Yes, it's a concept. Looking forward looking, it's looking into the future. Looking into our development. As George Lucas created under the concept of the Jedi, we here create the concept of Jediism. As a syncretist, I would say more than a religion. It is actually science, religion, and knowledge about all as we can get, as we can understand. We open our eyes by combining different beliefs, by blending the best of various ways of thinking, schools of thought. The Jedi, created by George Lucas, and Disney became its owner now. It's the Jediism becoming a Jediist. Will the journey we seek to explore under certain human practices and knowledge, history, science, arts, and learning must be the first rule as we speak, as we seek in ourselves the greatness the greatest development we can offer our lives under our own will, and of course the help, guidance, consulting from experience and research of years of experimenting into the magic world of knowledge. The magic world of alchemy, esoteric and occult beliefs, and their know-how, knowledge, which are two things, by the way, two different things. To know how things must be done, how things must be done, in order to become our pursuit of knowledge and know-how. Knowledge as data, which becomes information after close selection. We are familiarized with the subject. We've decided to learn about knowledge is opening awareness, knowing about, in our cognitive sense of intelligence, is connected to our feelings, emotional intelligence. We expand our horizons of understanding by intellect and emotion. We provide ourselves the learning structure of experience. We retain in our memories. We become experts on the subject we decide to explore. As we provoke our minds and our mind to become the sage, and after years, yes, after years, the polymath, the aftermath, the erudite, as we become the Jediist. In Jediism, as a class of civilization, like a type 1, type 2, type 3 in the Kardashev scale. Stellar, galactic, intergalactic example of civilized human. A new civilized human. As we speak, they are providing the means to start reaching the stars in few years. The learning of a new being, as George Lucas foreseen it. In Star Wars, that belongs now to Disney, of course. Now, in the universe, we are considered dangerous and even stupid societies by our own acts in our own ways. Purpose, we think, is the one. Remember one thing. We are in our first purpose and become learners, scholars, sages in many different subjects, and we follow our instincts to provide enough intelligence and sensitivity to acquire the most possible knowledge and know-how, to open our eyes, our horizons. Our minds must connect to the Akashic records of the planet, of the universe, where is everything recorded. Every single thought is a probable possibility in the universe. If we talk about multi-universes, we are like an antenna, emitting and receiving, reception and emission, all the time. Our thoughts, ideas, images are not inside, but around us in our electromagnetic field. But we will go into details later on. To recreate ourselves into co-creators with the one and only, the whole universe. The one is the mind that melds everything, because we are in the mind. All this is the mind of the Creator, and we are an experience within the mind of the Creator. The universe, the higher mind, as we learn now, the first universal law of the Kybalion, the book of Hermes, from where the law of attraction was taken and created into a book called The Secret. As we all know about all this, they didn't provide with the whole set of laws and all the secret. Well, that's exactly what they did. But what they did was the most intelligent thing. They opened our eyes so we can seek the answers, so we can look for it. Why does it work? It's not working. Why? Well, Jediism, as a Jediist, will provide this knowledge because it's part of the universal laws, the cosmic laws, as we will not only study, but apply to provide power, force, attitude, direction to our lives. And as Jedis, in a Jediism, which I will not call it just a religion as I said before, but much more than that. A lot more than that. The pillars of Jediism are self-discipline, the Force, the knowledge, and the know-how to become as powerful as you wish, with a sensitive purpose to help the needed. But first, help yourself to obtain the knowledge by learning, expanding your mind and your feelings. You will touch as we are connected all the time to the vital energy of creation. Recreate and co-create will provide the deepest feeling of being alive and with a higher purpose. This is the start of a journey into Jediism. Good night, and this is just the start.